Moved into the governorship domain of this conversation, and we just like to cover more issues here. And there is was a mention of Nairobi Metropolitan Services, NMS. First of all, do you agree with it having been brought in as an intervention? And in your view, was it because of a failed leadership?
No, I celebrate the Nairobi Metropolitan Services, the NMS and General Badi and his team have done a wonderful job. And it was a creature of the law. We saw how it was formed, and because it's a creature of the law, it extinguishes naturally by law in November of this year. Look at what they have done. They have sunk 193 boreholes in the metropolitan area. 144 of those boreholes has been in our informal settlement. That has truly helped us fight COVID-19. The Metropolitan Authority has further worked on pedestrianizing the central. Most important transporter is not the private car, but the pedestrian, the cyclist. They have done it, and we are now walking better. They've really tried to improve the environment, and they are it is part of the military to do civilian duty. And they came and answered the call of duty, and we truly celebrate what they have been able to achieve. And we are reverting back to a civil authority. As we speak, I believe General Badi is in transition, waiting for the election and then for the next people to take over office. He should not be vilified. And he really worked, and he's been able to deliver. It's been a band-aid to the city of Nairobi.
Labda kwa sekunde 30, iwapo utapewa nafasi ama ungepewa nafasi, ungetaka NMS iendelee kuhudumu katika kaunti ya Nairobi?
NMS siwezi pata hiyo nafasi kwa sababu sheria inasema NMS muda wao utakuisha November mwaka huu.
But it was extended, and there's an opportunity to extend it.
I will give better service as governor of Nairobi than NMS.
Bwana Sakaja, on the issue of governorship and how Nairobi Metropolitan Services, beg your pardon, came in to rescue the day. Do you agree with this? And under governorship of Sakaja, would this continue?
It is very interesting to hear a man praising his ex-wife's husband. The reason NMS came about is because he got the quit. It's as simple as that. If the deputy governor of Nairobi, Polycarp Igathe, did not quit, there'd be no need to have NMS. Those boreholes you're naming, you should have done them. Those interventions you're talking about, you had a chance to do them. Devolution cannot be trivialized in this country. Devolution is the greatest gift we've given to our people. That every Kenyan, wherever they are, has a right to self-determine. I wrote about this in 2010 with the International Commission of Jurists. Fiscal decentralization and devolution in this country. That lady in Mutwini deserves a county government and a governor she can hold to account, and who can listen to, and which can vote for. So you can't come praise the consequence of you absconding duty, of you, leaving office. Because if Polycarp did not run away from Nairobians, Governor Mike Sonko would have acted differently. Governor Mike Sonko acted as he did because he knew no one would impeach him, because no one wanted a by-election in Nairobi. Yet having no deputy, and that's why he'd bring Miguna's name, whoever's name, he knew he was untouchable. So it is a consequence of him. And then again, understand the law. There's no way NMS will operate after August. Well, I don't know what you're talking about November. The county government that is being elected on the 9th, that will be led, hopefully, God willing, by myself, will take full control of Nairobi. So yes, NMS has had a cocktail of hits and misses, but you don't know Nairobi. Those women who cried when the children were being smashed in Kariobangi and in Mukuru, do not agree with you about NMS.
I think we should not dwell. The history is the history.
No.
But we should learn from history.
What the citizens of Nairobi want is, what are we going to do for them? And I'm being really clear that we are going to fix the financing model of the city. We're going to have a city that is well-funded, and with those funds, with my deputy, Professor Kaloki, a distinguished public servant and politician, we want, in Kiswahili kusema, tutastawisha jamii, tutaboresha uchumi, na tutaimarisha mazingira hapa Nairobi. Mambo matatu makubwa ambayo tutayatenda. Na tunataka kuwaeleza watu wote Nairobi kwamba manifesto yetu iko kwa magazeti yote siku ya Wednesday, kesho,
day after.
This week, muisome the abridged version muone the pledges we are making to you, because In 3 seconds, we're not able to extrapolate those pledges, but I want to assure you, Nairobi will be something of your dreams.
No.
It will be a city of your vision. It will be truly a global hub in Africa for everybody.
Senator Sakaja, I believe you do agree that Nairobi is in deep debt and there's wasteful use of funds. What are the factors behind this? How will you fix it?
Again, I must say, Nairobi is in a dire situation that needs proper planning and proper political management. A lot of these issues are relational. If you look at the 76 billion debt, including even the 4.4 that is owed now, to KCB, and many of these other instruments we've gotten into, a lot of them can be sorted out based on how we relate with the national government. That Nairobi is not a branch of the national government or an appendage, or as my brother says, the military interventions are going on. Then Nairobi can negotiate, because there are a lot of areas which we can do debt swaps. But the county of Nairobi owes the national government, and the national government owes Nairobi City County. We must balance our books, and we're going to do that. And we have a team that is, properly suited, to be able to do that. I am very, very confident about my deputy, Njoroge Mushiri, who has a stellar career as well in banking. Actually, a proper corporate career, not 2 year stints here and there. A proper career, 20 years in ABSA,
So
NIC.
give us the particulars, though, on the issue of the debt that we are in. How will we get out once you are governor?
And that's what I'm saying. We must do a couple of things. One, you must refinance your debt. You must move what is domestic into concessional, that you cannot be borrowing from commercial banks. Have them as concessional. Chapter 12 of the Constitution of Kenya, talking about public finance, says how the national government guarantees county governments of debt. In fact, on top of that, we must get creative. For us to sort out the real issues of this city, we need around 200 billion shillings upfront through an infrastructure bond. I've gone across this world and spoken to Kenyans in the diaspora, whose remittances are our biggest foreign income earner, who are ready to put in money in certain interventions. When we talk about transit, we need a mass transit system in this county. How are we going to do it? Recently, I was in Imperial College in London, and I met a man, a nice gentleman, who sorted out transit in London. He sorted out transit in Beijing, mobility. What's his name? Professor Washington Ochieng. The other day I was in Riyadh. I met a group of guys who did the Dubai Metro and are doing the Riyadh Metro. George Opondo. There are Kenyans out there who are willing, so we must get creative. There's a PPP department that has been set up in the National Treasury. There's external borrowing, but we must refinance this city. Look at Joburg. Joburg is almost, it's more or less a listed city where people can actually invest in it. If you do not do that, you become a cashier, that you're receiving money, you only pay salaries, you will not develop Nairobi unless you get creative in how we actually, structure our financing model for the city. So we're going to restructure the debt, move to concessional loans, re-amortize some of those payments to longer term, and have an infrastructure bond for Nairobi City. Many Kenyans out there are going to put in money on our transit, on our water, and our basic infrastructure.